Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, things may change by the time this video comes out. Maybe the fight finally gets finalized and done by the time I put this video out. But for the time being, right now, on June 4th at 1:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's been reported that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. are close to finalizing a deal to fight at welterweight for the undisputed title. They're saying it's probably going to be October. It's probably going to be in Las Vegas, and you know what? That's good, but I gotta be honest with you guys. I don't know if I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm a bad human being, but I don't know, man. Like this news ain't really hitting me the way I feel like it should be hitting me. I'm not, and I think I'm not really that excited for this fight anymore. I'm not. For 4 years and some change now, it's been countless videos about Crawford and Spence. It's been countless having to see all these channels that were never here before Crawford and Spence was a thing start their channels specifically based off of Crawford and Spence. We've had to hear the radical Errol Spence fan base. We've had to hear the radical Terence Crawford fan base. And the reality is this, man. I'm not excited for this fight. I really can't wait for it to be over with because in my eyes, right, the fight doesn't mean now what it would have meant years ago when they should have fought. Because the reality is, as great as Terence Crawford still is, and he may just be the #1 pound fighter in the world, he's not the best Terence Crawford that we've ever seen in his life. He's not in his prime. We know Errol Spence isn't in his prime, even though he looked great against Ugas. He's not in his prime anymore. And I truly believe, like, this is one of those fights where, like, no matter who loses, whether it's Crawford or Spence, there's just gonna be excuses for either one of them. If Crawford loses, the Crawford fans are gonna say that, you know, that's PBC and Al Heyman delayed the fight and aged him out. If Spence loses, which is gonna happen, by the way, that's what's gonna happen. When Spence loses, all we're gonna hear is car crash. That's all we're gonna hear. Car crash this and car crash that. So I'm not really excited about hearing all the hype that people are gonna have for this fight. And then I'm really not excited about the aftermath, because the aftermath will actually be more annoying than the buildup. You know, and that's what it is. This is what happens when you delay a fight. And I refuse to get excited about this fight because this is why boxing promoters and the industry delay the fuck out of fights, because fans are ridiculous. Fans have short memories. Fans are fickle. Y'all don't care nothing about the 4 years and some change that this fight was delayed because PBC and Al Heyman and Errol Spence and all parties involved on that side didn't want this fight. No. You're gonna forget all that just because the fight is happening. And like I'm not here for it. Like I really don't care. Like, may the best man win. That'll be Crawford. And let the excuses reign. That's what's gonna happen. There's just so many other better fights in boxing that aren't gonna take 70 million years to make. Zoro Beterbiev Bivol, Fulton Inoue, Ennis versus anybody. I mean, Usyk versus Fury, Usyk versus whoever, Joe Joyce versus Hergovic versus Joe Joyce. What other, Shakur Stevenson versus any big name at 135. Haney Cambosa's winner versus Tank. I mean, there's so many great fights that could be made in boxing that I'm a lot more excited about, that even if they took a long time to make, they wouldn't take as long as this. I mean, this has been one of the most annoying fights to follow in years. Probably since Kell Brook and Amir Khan. But the thing is, like, I made a video last year, and I said that this fight was Kell Brook versus Amir Khan, the American version. And it is. It's one fighter who's moved the goalpost routinely, that didn't want to fight the other fighter because he knows the other fighter would have beat the shit out of him. And when it finally happened, the fighter that was being shortchanged all these years beat the shit out of the guy that was being a diva. This is the same fight. I've already seen this movie before. But the difference between Amir Khan and Kell Brook is, like, when Amir Khan and Kell Brook was happening, it was in the UK. They were UK fighters, so, like, I didn't really have to hear it as much and it wasn't as irritating. So when the fight actually got made, I was excited for it. These are two American fighters. These are two guys that have radical fan bases here on YouTube, and it's just been, and mind you, I'm saying this as a massive Crawford fan myself, but like, they have two extremely ridiculous fan bases on YouTube, and there's been no escaping this fight. And like, the fact, like, you know, a fight is overrated when the fight hasn't even been signed yet, and people are just excited about the fact that it's supposedly done, but we don't even know if that's the truth. How can we, the boxing fans, trust that this fight is going to get done when we don't have any access to negotiations or contracts or anything like that? Who's to say that PBC doesn't sign Crawford to a deal and he fight Thurman or something like that? Like who knows, man? Like, I'm just to the point where it's like, look, get this fucking fight done. I'm tired of talking about it. Get it signed, sealed, and delivered. And just let the fight happen and may the best man win, and let it happen so we can just move on. Like, let's move on. I'm to the point where I don't even give a fuck about this fight. Like, I don't even care if Crawford gets knocked out at this point. Like, let's just move on. Like, let's just move on. Because in the reality, like, it's a big fight, but it's not even the biggest fight in boxing. Canelo Golovkin is going to sell more than this fight. Tank and Ryan is bigger than this fight if it ever got made. This fight might not even be the top 3 most biggest fights in boxing if we're talking about like revenue, ticket sales, things like that in boxing. But of course, being in the small bubble we're in here on YouTube, we think it's the biggest thing since sliced bread. So, yeah, I'm not really excited for Crawford versus Spence, because it doesn't mean what it once did. People will counter what I'm saying and say, well, BT, don't you want to see an undisputed champion at 147? Personally, I don't give a fuck that if that's for 147. I just wanted to see the fight because we've been known for years. We didn't need Spence to beat Ugas or Crawford to beat Porter for us to know that these were the 2 best welterweights in the division, okay? We knew that a long time ago. But now, so much time has gone by waiting for this fight to happen that now I have to seriously question if these 2 are the best welterweights in the world. Because I don't think that, I truthfully don't think that Errol Spence is better than Jaron Ennis. And there's a big fraction of people, there's a big, large segment of people out there in the world that think that Jaron Ennis is better than Terence Crawford. I don't think that, but a lot of people think that. So now it's to a point where now we can actually objectively question, are these 2 really the best welterweights in the world anymore? We don't know. We don't know anymore. And that's why, that's another reason why it's like, I'm just, that news yesterday is just not, it's not hitting me the way it would have hit me in 2019, 2020, even early 2021, you know, because that's how tired I am of talking about this fight. But that's the news. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, almost finalized. By the time this video comes out, it might get finalized. So if it gets finalized, cool. It's about time they make something happen for the fans, because both fan bases of both fighters have been tortured for a long time. The lion's share of that blame should go to PBC and Al Heyman, because they didn't want no smoke for all these years. And when Terence Crawford curb stomps the daylights out of Errol Spence, I don't want to hear car crash once. I'm letting everybody know right now. When Terence Crawford inevitably curb stomps Errol Spence and beats the brakes off of him, I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, he got into a car crash. Nope. He wanted to be Big Fish. He wanted to be Mr. A-Side. He wanted to be the Black American Amir Khan. He'll get treated like the Black American Amir Khan. So I'm going to leave it at that. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is there, and let me know, because I want to know if I'm weird. I want to know if I'm a weird guy. Like, is there anybody out there that shares these sentiments where it's like, okay, we know it's a really good fight. We know these are 2 quality fighters. We should be happy about the fight happening, but because of all the politics and all the bullshit that's been pulled all these years, we're just not excited for the fight, because it's been so much time and it's been delayed so long that we don't even know if these 2 are the best 2 welterweights in the world anymore. You know, is there anybody out there that feels the way I feel? If so, please let me know. And yeah, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.